Hey everybody, welcome to GoGetit by Getitlex Motivational podcast. Today we here with my partner James, my birthday twin. So thank you for coming on my podcast. Thank you for taking the time out to story. Um, and I know you from back in the day. You know what I mean? The whole team, everybody, was kind of doing their thing in the street, and just music and other things or whatever, whatever. So I'm very proud of you for moving up the ladder. I watched you through social media, how you climbed up, and you doing what you want to do and getting your bread. And I think this story is something that a lot of people need to hear. And also, I appreciate you for still fucking with me when you see me that day at Walmart and I was hit. You know what I mean? A lot of people see me hit like that. You see me hit, you know what I mean? And now you my birthday, so I know it's always
You
showing
all
love.
know, yeah, you know what it is, man. You know what it is, man. Always.
But it's all good. But anyway, since I know a little bit about you, I'm gonna give you the floor to let the people know a little bit about
All right. Well, first foremost, thank you. You know what I'm saying? I want to thank you for allowing me on your show. Um, Thank you for being a source of motivation for me as well. Like I said, we go back. So for me to see where you done made it to and how hard you push every day I see it, it gives me more motivation. So, you know what I mean? Heads off to you first and foremost. You know what I'm
you.
saying? Well, my name's James Sydnor the third, aka Chef Tank, the kitchen bully. Uh, I started, probably like most people from the hood, just wanting to make some money, trying to figure a way of finding their way in. And so I started, some people call it the wrong path. I mean, for me, it probably was the best path I could have chose because it has led me into, being what I am now. So I wouldn't take it back. Probably would do a lot of things differently, but I wouldn't take it back. That first and foremost, let me let y'all know I'm not acting like selling drugs was a good thing to do. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just letting you know for in my story, for me, it helped me become who I am. What really made me very ambitious about my own was when I was younger. I think I was like 14, 13, and I wanted some shoes. I wanted some Jordans. See, my dad, he didn't mind spending money, but he didn't believe in spending $100 and some dollars on one thing. Instead of you getting that, you can go get three, four things, and you can work it out that way. So some Jordans I wanted real bad. So my mom and my dad was like, "Well, why don't you go around the neighborhood and see if you can rake people's yards and all this?" So I went to one neighbor. She told me no. I went to the next neighbor, and she was like, "Well, do it look like my yard need to be raked?" With a couple of other words added to it. And from that point on, I was like, I never wanted to feel that that energy again to the point where I need somebody and they reject me. So it just, I mean, my fuel to push has been kind of great since I was little. Um, so that led to me pretty much, hustling from that point on. From that point on, I decided I was going to do it the other way, and I made a few mistakes, got locked up, uh, had like a 10-year run, had fun, but like I said, I got locked up, and when I got locked up, my eyes opened up a lot more. I had a newborn baby at the way. I had a 1-year old son at the time, and that was my first time being away from him to the point where, like, I couldn't go back to him. Like, it was different when I was on the street ripping and running because I knew at any time that I felt like it, I can just go in the house and see my son. So this was like one time, like, I couldn't, no matter what I wanted to do, I couldn't see my son. So that kind of like, made me think about what I was doing a lot more. So, everybody go through that phase when you locked up. You're not going to do this no more. You're not going to do this. What we call it jail talk. The jail talk. I'm going to go home and I'm going straight and narrow. Yeah, I did it too. I said the same thing. I'm like, I'm coming home. I ain't messing with nothing. I ain't going to be on these blocks. Came home. Well, towards the end of my bid, I did like 6 months. So towards the end of my 6 months, one of my partners that I was on the streets with got locked up with me. And he started telling me all this, man, look, when we get home, we can do this and do that. So now my mind went from not being in the streets to when I get home, I'm going to the streets. So I come home and get a pack. Uh, Wouldn't go sell the pack. I sold the first pack, whatever. I ain't really profit nothing, but I dumped the pack. So the second pack I grabbed, I wouldn't do the same thing, and I just wasn't feeling no more. Like I couldn't stomach the police running down the block. Like I'm jumpy, I'm jittery. Like I never been like this in my life. So now I'm jumpy, I'm jittery. It's like, all right, you know what? This ain't for me. So I called my people. I'm like, look, man, you can have this back. Like I can't do nothing with this. Um, did that. At the time, you know what I'm saying? Like my brother, you know what I'm saying, my best friend, shout out Rail. I went to him and I'm like, yo, bro, I can't stomach this life no more. He was like, man, just sit back until you find something for you. And man, I mean, like he took care of me, my family, my son, all that for like 5 to 6 months. Um, move over north side. My big cousin come and move in with us, and at the time he's working at the racetrack for NASCAR. So he been telling us all these years, you know, come down here, work with me. Come down here, work with me. We like, nah, we ain't. We good on that. So we go to the racetrack, and from that day on, what 16 years ago, I ended up here. You know, I ended up here just staying on the same path and just being nosy and bugging the chefs to the point where they getting mad and they just telling me go do anything. Just so I can leave them alone. Go over there and do 1,000, 3,000 snap peas. Go over there and skewer. We need 5,500 skewers. Go over there and skewer them. Just leave me alone. So they did us. They did me and Rail like that for a year and a half. Next time they came down, it was mutual respect. And it was like, look, man, we see that you got it. You really want it. And they embraced us and they let us into the community, you know, which now I have a very wonderful career in. Very wonderful career in.
So the initial, okay, so transitioning from being able to get that fast money, you know what I'm saying, into, of course, you know, you got the risks. Some always telling you to go, but how did you like wrap your mind around the fact that maybe the money wasn't going to be as good as the money you used to seeing?
It took me a minute to be honest. Like I'm talking about like my whole first, I might say my whole first 3 years at the racetrack. I was quick to tell somebody, you know, I don't need this. I can go home and I can make some my own way. Like I'm, you know, I had bumped heads with a lot of chefs. Just my attitude of me thinking that I can go back and do what I want to do. But then, I'll be honest, what I started doing was I go around the way. I go in the hood, and I chill in the hood, and I realized that I'm probably making more money than these guys in the hood just doing this than a lot of guys is making. You know what I'm saying? And I don't have the same risk. You know, a lot of them still in the same place, not knocking them, because I don't knock nobody for their move. You got to move when it's right for you to move. But a lot of them still doing the same things we was doing before I went to jail. And that right there was enough for me to be like, nah, man, let me get serious. Let me try to get serious about this opportunity that's in front of me.
So the initial, it's other things that you could have did, So how did this really draw you in, and make you feel like was the move? I mean, of course, them giving you opportunity when you needed it, but a lot of people take opportunities and don't deal with it because it ain't really doing what it needs to do. So how did that really like make you stay in that lane?
I'm gonna be honest. Like I said, before I got into the kitchen with the racetrack, I wasn't about cooking and nothing. You know what I'm saying? The only thing I used to cook was what go in the pot. You know what I'm saying? Like that's for real. You know what I'm saying? Microwave pot. That was it. You know what I'm saying? Back to the block. So I really wanted to cook, but I got into it, and when I opened my mind up, to be honest, like what it is, let us don't open our mind up to receive other things. So I had to, step out of myself and realize, all right, this might be an opportunity. Let me really see what's going on and soak it in. And like I said, the guys at the time, the support we received had a lot to do with it too, man. Because like the chefs that was there at the time, they could have easily been like, get out of here. But they made us feel like family. So like, you know what, this pretty cool. This is pretty cool. And then the stories they used to tell us and how they traveled the world, and you don't pay for nothing. Everybody pay for you when you're a chef. You don't pay for nothing. So I'm like, all right, that's pretty cool. It's kind of like, kind of like my old life a little bit with less risk.
So, was it ever discouraging to you stepping into a field or something that you did never do before? Like, especially when you dealing with people who've been in the kitchen and dealt with food, and different kind of foods and equipment and stuff. Like, was there ever a time when you ran into that and you was like, I want to do it, but this is overwhelming?
Um, Not really per se. I had times at work. You know, might have been having a bad day, and somebody that came and added more to my bad day, and it might have discouraged me for the moment. But all in all, no, I knew once I kind of got into this and I seen the path I could take, I kind of knew it was this. This was it. Like I kind of knew this was it for me. So I haven't really let nobody really deter me. If anything, it makes me go harder for real. For somebody to tell me I can't do something, I can't achieve something, or if I feel like somebody's trying to be an obstacle in my way, know what I'm saying? That's where the kitchen bully come from. It makes me bull up, know what I'm saying? And just really go for it even harder so I can prove you wrong. And also prove myself right.
So, how much work? Okay, a lot of people that's chefs, a lot of people that it's a lot of people that's chefs that went to school for it, and it's a lot of people that's chefs that didn't. So, how did that come about? Actually, you taking that title as chef.
Um, like I said, the difference in my eyes is with the paper, you get places a lot faster. Like you don't have to have the same quality skill I have. Just because you have a paper that says you can do it, you'll get an opportunity before me. When I have to, most of the time I have to go into a spot, but not now because I'm known. But to start it off, I had to go into spots and really prove my worth. And somebody might walk in, and they might be fresh out of school, and they like, well, they done made him my boss. They done made that person my boss. So now I got to prove to them, that I'm worthy, or be salty about it. So, but I will say this: I don't have that. So, and I feel like I was paid all these years to learn a trade, to learn a craft, to learn my career. So instead of me paying for my career, I got paid to learn my career.
Right. So, with all the madness going on at the racetrack, there's always something. And you remember a time where um it was like hectic in the kitchen and you was like out of your zone, like stepping in there, and there were all these people moving around and stuff going on. Like, was it ever overwhelming? I mean, I know it gets overwhelming, but you stepping into something new to you at the time. Was it overwhelming feeling like I gotta get this, I gotta get this right?
Um, Not really because, like I said, my first week, well, no, my third week at the racetrack when I first got into the game, we did a race. I came 2 weeks before the race, so we jumped right into the race. And like I said, if anybody know about dishwasher, as a dishwasher, you got one of the most important jobs. I don't care about the chef, the cooking, on that. The dishwasher got one of the most important jobs. Utility guys. So we literally had to learn everything within a 3 week span and still be ready for a race. So that right there alone kind of prepared me not to really be too overwhelmed when situations occur. I have been, I will say, fatigued. Fatigue. That I will say that happens more than anything. Fatigue, but not really overwhelmed.
So I want to get into this piece that you have on your arm, your neck, and you gave me the story about it, and I think it's super duper dope. But I want you to tell the people about how you obtained that.
Okay, well, no, the piece she's talking about is the piece right here. Me and my friends we joke about it a lot. They call it the sweet baby rays. You might see my brother on Facebook. He done took a picture with a sweet baby ray barbecue and put it on his chain. But I call it my bully piece. Maybe 3 years ago, we was at the racetrack, and for the racetrack, every year we have the Army, the Navy, the Marines, whoever they come and they work with us. So we running the whole weekend. Whole weekend I've been ripping and running doing my thing. So at the end, one of the Navy members that worked for us, he was like, "Hey yo, you did a great job." So we giving everybody our fives and we thanking everybody. So he come back and he give me another five. So when I opened my hands up, it was actually this piece. And he was like, "You're a great leader of men. You have earned this piece. I haven't seen nobody done the things that you have done over a 3 day span." He was like, that's great leadership for you to be able to just come in and grab people that you don't know and be able to motivate them and get them to do a job you need to get done. He was like, he was like, oh, you earned this piece. And I think it's his personal piece. That what the girl was telling me that was working with him. Like, it's really a naval piece that you get. I turned it into a charm. Shout out the dude that used to do Young and Young Peoples. He turned it into a charm for me. But yeah, I turned into a charm so I can have it by me, and so I can always stay motivated. It's almost like a motivational piece for me as well.
I think that's just wrong with the Capricorns, man. All the Capricorns I run into are like super dope leaders and like, they really like I mean everybody gets shit done. I just see Capricorns get it done. We lead we head the table sometimes. But that's super dope. I think for somebody to recognize that and give you something of theirs of sentimental
Can you re-
value.
can you repeat it?
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Oh yeah, I was saying that I think it's just super dope that somebody would take the time out and recognize you in that way and give you something that's of sentimental value, like something that's really theirs and was meant for them to appreciate you and to see what you're doing and to feel like you needed to have it. I think that's awesome. So how has your experience when you left the raceway, right? I know you was working all over the place. So going into these other restaurants and other venues and stuff like that, how did it change? Like for being there for so long and dealing with the people you dealt with, how did that change for you?
Um, it's more or less the people. I wouldn't say the work. It's more or less the people that change. It's a different mentality. Racetrack mentality and restaurant mentality and carnival mentality is all different. And then it's the owners. It's the owners that you got to deal with. Not really the customers per se, because as long as your food good and you pretty pretty nice to them, customers don't really have too much to say. But yeah, the owners. Some people want. A lot of people are closed minded. Like they say they want something, they want it, and then when you give it to them, it's like they ain't really want what they asked for, and it leaves you in a situation like, all right, now I'm just grinding my gears. I'm in mud right now because the owner not allowing me to do what I need to do, but he brought me on to do what I need to do. But it's like now you got my hands tied behind my back. So that right there is different. That's still something that I still deal with to this day, in different spots, different locations. But when I was younger, it used to really like it used to send me left. It used to send me left. Now it's just more or less I recognize, I identify, and I choose my best move after that. Like when I go into kitchens, I don't just go and work. Most of the time, I don't know we're gonna do a 3-4 week trial thing with each other. If you like me at the end, I like you at the end, then we can sign this deal that we can go on. If not, it's no hard feelings. I still come and patronize your restaurant, and maybe one day down the line we might can hook up and do something.
So what was the first uh restaurant that you worked at when you left the raceway?
The first restaurant I worked in when I left the racetrack, uh, Olive Garden. Matter of fact, Olive Garden. Olive Garden. Yeah, Olive
All
Garden.
right.
Yeah,
So
OGs.
yeah, Olive Garden is the shit. So did you pick up any since that was the first restaurant you worked at, what skills did you obtain that you can identify with now that you
Quickness,
didn't
quickness. When you doing catering, you don't have to be as fast. You know what I'm saying? When you're doing the racetrack, you don't have to be as fast because everything is pre-planned. You know your numbers, you know your goal that you got to hit. You know, if 1,500 people coming, with a restaurant, you don't know. So it's like you got to always be on your feet. And that one moment that you might slow up or get distracted, now you got a 35 orders in front of you. You know, that 15 orders then with the 35. So that's what it really made me like organize the way I'm cooking, and like I said, speed, a lot of quickness.
so your first encounter with uh a chain restaurant and the way it operates, how was that like getting to learn the way that restaurants operate? As far as rules, regulations, staff, just the background stuff that we don't know about as
Um,
people that
be honest, man. That restaurant, that them chain restaurant, that food ain't really nothing, man. I'll be honest. That's one of the biggest things I learned. A lot of people they got a bad brand. So give you an instant. I could give you an example. Instead of making mashed potatoes, you buy bag mashed potatoes because everybody that's part of that chain has to taste the same exact way. So if you come to Richmond and you eat at Olive Garden, and then you go to Louisiana and you eat at Olive Garden, it's supposed to taste the same exact way. So a lot of things is not made fresh. It's pretty much brung in and you reheating, you adding to it, stuff like that. I didn't really understand that at first until I got into the chains. Um, chain of command. That's very big in chains. Like it's like mom and pop spots. Even with the racetrack, it's a chain of command, but the chain of command is loose. When you into big time restaurants, it's a chain of command, and you got to follow that chain of command all the way down to the T. It's no breaking protocol. It's no doing something that you want to do because you want to do it. So
So
discipline.
what? So discipline is a big factor. That's a big factor in everything. To be honest,
Yeah,
it's entrepreneurship, yeah, business, any type of business, discipline is a big deal. Um, but what was the favorite? You have a favorite place, a spot that you cooked at, and you got to showcase your skills?
My favorite spot is actually a spot in North Carolina called Hawthorne's. That's one of my favorite spots. Then it's another one called the Dish, but most of these spots is in North Carolina. Um, Otherwise than that, be honest, man, I'd rather get real to cook. I'd rather call my big bro. I'd rather call bro up like, hey bro, let me get some of that magic. You know what I'm saying? If I gotta choose a spot in Richmond, yeah, I call him. I go to his house, wherever he at working at the time.
Um, so what styles of food do you like to cook the most?
Um, I I stay away from saying soul food, but it is a soul food that I cook. But I put a twist on most of the things I cook. I try to, like turkey wings. Instead of me giving you a regular turkey wing, I might do a jerk turkey wing, a curry turkey wing. I don't do regular cornbread. I do a sweet potato cornbread. Just stuff like that. I love steak. I'm big on steak. I love a good steak. I love a good steak.
You know, it's
I love
crazy because I tell people all the time, like, I don't eat sweets. I don't eat sweets. And when we at work, we always talk about this because people always got cakes and candies and stuff. And I'm like, I don't eat it. And they're like, why you don't eat steak? I'm like, I mean, why you don't eat candy or sweets? I'm like, why would I waste my time? If I'm that hungry, I need to eat some candy or something. I could be out here eating a steak or a piece
it. Yeah,
of damn cake or something that ain't
yeah.
going to,
I ain't gonna fill
no,
you
if I'm
up.
eating a meal, no, I'm not eating
Yeah.
that shit. No. And we always talk about that. I love a steak, though. Chicken, egg,
Well, I owe you
that
one. I owe you a
shit.
steak on me. Yeah, I owe you one. I personally make sure I deliver that to you.
Need this tomahawk steak though.
Yeah,
You up
yeah.
for that?
That's the one. That's the one I want. That's the one I want. That's the one I want right
Okay.
there. I haven't cooked one of those yet. I haven't cooked one of those yet. But I don't worry. Most of the stuff I tell people, I don't practice. You know what I'm saying? Like it might sound bad, but I don't practice cooking. You know what I'm saying? Like I read stuff and every now and then, but I get in the kitchen. I go in my field. I just go with the flow and I let it talk to me. And it's been working this far, so I'm pretty sure I can turn out a pretty good tomahawk.
Yeah, that's me all day. Gotta knock it off my bucket list.
Yeah, all right. Well, we on for that one. I got you. I owe you that one. I owe you that one.
Oh, put me in the book.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, I got you.
oh, consistency. I know you say you don't practice, but maybe you can tell me about like consistency as far as just staying on your grind, like just being on the blade and being able to just knock those out. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody get discouraged at times. Shit don't always work out. But tell me how consistency played a role into where you at today.
My phone is about to die. It
Oh
just
my
fell out the
God.
charger. It just fell out the charger. Oh my god.
Oh, God, it's always somewhere not doing it. Oh, is it dead? Oh, no, I think it died. Mm. All right, so look, if he come back and he hit me and he got some juice on his phone, we gonna pick up on part two. Okay, y'all. Like some of the other interviews I did when something happened and we gotta cut it short. If he charge his phone up and he wanna go for part two, we're gonna do part two. Or if not, I can do part two tomorrow because I'm tomorrow and my sister come on tomorrow too. So thank you guys for and kicking it with me and supporting my podcast. I appreciate y'all. So I see y'all later.